When the construction trucks rolled in, I figured the county was doing maintenance, maybe a busted pipe or something. But when they started digging trenches across my lower field, I knew something was off. I walked down and asked the foreman what was going on. He pointed at a clipboard and said,
"Fiber installation for Cedar Heights HOA. Big upgrade project. Should be done in a week."
"You're laying fiber lines on my land?" He looked confused.
"We have a right-of-way permit from the HOA president. Karen something?"
Of course, Karen. The same HOA president who once issued me a formal citation for grass too expressive in height and attitude. I called her immediately. "Karen, you're running cables through my field?"
That land was underutilized. The HOA board voted unanimously.
"It's not HOA land."
Well, it's adjacent to HOA boundaries, and unused land can be reclassified under emergency infrastructure provisions. It's in the bylaws, section something.
So now, I've got trenches, trucks, and techs all over my property, based on a vote I was never a part of, for a group I'm not even in. What Karen didn't know is, I record all my calls. And I read every deed when I bought this farm. Let's rewind. When I inherited this land from my grandfather, he told me one thing.
Don't let anyone touch the south field. That's where the real gold is.
He didn't mean oil or treasure. He meant the easement rights. Turns out, my field sits on the only viable path for underground cables to reach the HOA's main office and clubhouse. Without my land, there's no connection, and it's private land. Meaning, I own it, I control it, I lease it. Q. Operation Fiber Cut. Step 1. Call the fiber company. Let them know their permit is invalid. Step 2. File a cease and desist for trespassing. Step 3. Remove the equipment. Step 4. Put up a lovely new sign. Private easement. Access revoked by owner. Trespassers will be leased to the competition. And step 5? You guessed it. I called GlideNet, HOA's biggest rival, the company Karen's board voted against last year. I offered them a 100-year exclusive lease through my land. They jumped on it in 48 hours. Now my field is lined with shiny new GlideNet access hubs. The HOA's contractor? Blocked, denied, and rerouted. Karen stormed into my driveway like a lavender thundercloud.
You're sabotaging community infrastructure.
You should have asked first.
You can't do this. We need that line.
I'm exercising property rights. Section something. Naturally, Karen called the city, absolutely fuming. Her voice shook with outrage as she laid into whoever picked up the phone.
He blocked access to community infrastructure. This is sabotage. This is a threat to public connectivity. We invested money.
The next day, a city land use representative showed up an older gentleman with a calm demeanor and a folder in hand. The kind of guy who's clearly dealt with more than his share of suburban meltdowns. I met him at the gate and handed over a full packet of documents. A copy of my property plat. The recorded conversation with Karen. Photos of the private property. No trespassing signs. And most importantly, my lease agreement with GlideNet. He read everything, nodded slowly, and then made his way over to Karen, who was already standing at the end of the drive, like some kind of HOA war general arms crossed, foot tapping. The rep opened his folder, glanced up at her, and said with deadpan clarity,
"Ma'am, you authorized construction on private property without the owner's consent. That's a violation. And for the record, he's well within his rights to lease access to any provider he chooses. Honestly, you're lucky he's not suing."
Karen looked like she'd just taken a direct hit. What came next was even better. The HOA had to refund every resident for the failed fiber project. GlideNet came in and offered 50% off service to the whole neighborhood as a goodwill gesture. Everyone, except Karen.